hammered with interpreting for the Christmas Carol at the Omaha Playhouse. My real life goal, though, is to teach at a deaf school. And I'd love to do the theater, journalism, writing, creative writing, English, things like that, so I can incorporate American Sign Language and their culture into kind of a creative way to express that, to share it with hearing people.
Now you become an RA now, correct?
I did.
Now how you liking being an RA?
I love being an RA. I think it's the greatest job that someone can have during their college years.
Why?
You get to know everybody. You get to instigate activities to a broader audience that you might not have access to otherwise. I grew up in a family of police officers, so we always have known kind of what's going on in the city, and so you kind of get to know what's going on all over college. You get to know everybody, and you can be involved in almost anything that you want to be involved in, and it opens a lot of doors for you.
Have you been authoritating any illegal activities?
No, I've not been authoritating any illegal activities. Either people are very good at hiding it when I'm around, or Doane's pretty mellow campus. So.
Well, that's not exactly what I've heard, but maybe you just haven't been aware of them.
Well, I have only been an RA for a month.
Yeah, true.
So.
Well, I think your day will come when you bust a mega huge party.
I think it's called Stop Day.
Stop Day. It could be called Stop Day. Now, you also write for the Owl, is that right?
Yes, I'm the sports beat reporter for the Owl.
Sports beat reporter, huh?
Yeah.
How'd you get that?
I don't know. I think that Shorts doesn't like me. No, I'm kidding. Over break, I got an email from one of our editors, Bob Kenny, and he said, okay, here are your beat reporting assignments, and mine said sports, which I was thrilled about because I love every sport. I like to go, I like the competition of it, and so I said, yay, but the class hasn't started and I don't even know what that means. So knew right away what I was doing, I just didn't know what it entailed.
Mm-hmm. And what's your favorite article you've done?
The baseball's new mascot is Mr. Potato Head.
That's your favorite one?
Yeah, I think because of the picture. I had started that article to kind of preview the baseball season, which is coming up here shortly. Next week, I think, is our first home game. And I was at practice with the guys, and I asked them, what's going on? And they were telling me about the new players, the transfer juniors, about Coach Jorgensen. And I noticed that there was a Mr. Potato Head laying in a box of balls. And I said, why do you have a Mr. Potato Head with you? Because this is not a thing I would associate with college-age guys. And they said, oh, that's our new mascot. He travels with us. And I went, excuse me? And that turned into probably the greatest article I'll write this semester. Yeah.
Now, where do you? I heard that you signed professionally at some company, or Boys Town or something.
No, not at Boys Town. Over the summer, I had an opportunity to work with the Nebraska Commission for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, and then I am an interpreter for the Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So that's pretty fun. In the summer, I go up during Scout Camp, and if we have a deaf or hard of hearing scout who needs an interpreter, I'm there. And if not, then I teach merit badge classes. So.
Okay. Now, your clothing drive that you're doing, tell us a little bit about that.
I need to start that sentence over again. When I grew up, my mother was in an abusive relationship, and when she left that marriage, we left completely. And she didn't have the things that she needed to be able to restart her career. And it's always been a big passion of mine to be able to support families and to support women who are trying to start over. So as an RA, we have an opportunity to have programs. They can either be just like your hall or your building, or they can be campus-wide. And I thought it would be a nice way, since February, scratch all of that, since Women's Month was recently, I thought it would be a nice opportunity for me to be able to meet people on campus, see how receptive they are to activities, and then also to support women, kind of Valentine's Day, give a gift to others, to have this clothing drive.
What kind of results have you been getting so far?
Quite a bit. The administrative building over in Padua Walker has got a box for themselves to dump things in, and I've picked up a box of clothing there. Perry, members of the Doane community in the Perry Center have been very generous. So we've got 5 or 6 boxes of clothing that I'll be able to take up on the 2nd, probably. We'll go up to the shelters. And we picked 2 because you often have women who have just left a home or an environment where they need any clothing. But then you also have women that have maybe are starting to go out into the workforce again and they need interview clothes. So we asked for both, and we'll be sorting those to give to the city mission, casual clothes, survival clothes, and then the dressier, more interview clothes are going to go to the Hope Crisis Center because they specialize in helping women find employment.
Now, the dates that you're doing this are up through this Saturday?
Yes, and obviously if you have something later, I'm going to be taking the clothes to Lincoln on Tuesday.
Okay, so make sure you guys check that out. It's the clothes drive put on by Meghan Kurtz. I want to thank you for that. That's amazing that you're willing to help people. I think that's incredible.
I think everyone should have an opportunity, especially in this economy, to get a job if they need one. So.
Well, thank you for that.
Great. Well, thanks.
Thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Make sure you donate your unused women's clothes to Meghan's clothes drive. That will be ending this Saturday, and if clothes come after this Saturday, you'll still take them?
I'll still take them. We
Still
can
take
get
them.
them. Yeah, drop me an email.
Drop her an email, megan.kurtz@doane.edu. Be sure to come right back for David Coleman, the Love Doctor. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. My guest tonight, you may have seen the movie Hitch. The movie is actually inspired by my guest tonight. He goes by the name of David Coleman. He's been known as Dating Doctor. Make sure you check out his website, datingdoctor.com. He's released multiple books, including this one, Let Your Leadership Speak, How to Lead and Be Heard. Check out that book on his website. Also got this book right here, Why We Hover. Check that book out. 2 more books right here, Blueprint for Success. Check that one out on his website. Also, Keys to Success. Check that book out. And not only that, but his most popular book, we don't have right now because it's sold out. So make sure you check out his website, www.datingdoctor.com for that. Ladies and gentlemen, David Coleman.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Now, tell us a little bit about how you got into the whole Hitch, the dating scene.
I was a student activities director on a college campus in Ohio, and I went to a convention once and I did a program called Creative Dating. And it was just low budget dating ideas, how to ask somebody out. It was kind of really primitive dating stuff. And people kept coming up after my program and going, hey, here's my business card, here's my business card, here's my business card. If you come to my campus, we'll pay you. And that's how it started. And when I was back in college, I had the ability to meet women very easily. My friends did not. So they all want to go out with me and go, hey, you're going to meet a couple of women, but you can't meet them all, and we'll meet the women who are around the one that you meet. And it actually happened that way. Then they would go off and dance or come back, and it wouldn't work very well, and they'd go, what do I do? And I would give them advice, and it worked. So between my college, what happened to me when I was in college, and then going to conferences and becoming a speaker, both my careers kind of melded into one.
All right. Now, when your first relationships, did you kind of have a feel to it, or did it take a while for you to kind of develop the whole idea of how to read somebody and how to know what to put into the relationship?
Developing how to read someone it's over time. I've spoken to more than 2.5 million people live in my career, and the more people you meet, the more you notice that people's patterns repeat. When you see a person carry themselves a certain way, they've been in a relationship where they've been burned. When you see a person carry themselves another way, they're so elated, you can tell that the way they are carrying themselves, they're very happy with themselves, they're self-confident, they're in a healthy relationship. It's amazing how patterns repeat in people that have no connection to each other, but are living their lives within the same pattern. It's amazing.
So in your relationship with your girlfriend, is that right?
Yeah.
Does some of the tactics that you tell people, does she kind of feel like, oh, well, that's not fair?
You know, it's funny. I've never used tactics on her, and she would tell you when people go, oh my gosh, you're dating the dating doctor. She goes, he's a guy. He's a guy just like every other guy. I think when you know, like some famous actor or actress, when you date them, you're with them 24/7, 365. You see it all. You know, the public only sees what you allow them to see. Mm-hmm. My girlfriend is younger than I am, and when she first approached me about going out with me, I said, I really can't date you, you're too young. You know, you're too young for me to date. And she said, don't let my age be the reason you don't date me. Let me be the reason you don't date me. If I'm not the right person, don't date me. Don't let it just be my age that keeps us apart. And she was brilliant. I mean, she has a master's degree in public health. She's finishing up becoming a nurse. She's just an amazing person. She's more mature than I will ever be. So for us, age isn't a factor. We also don't ever care what people think, and we never it's just her family has accepted me and my family has accepted her, and it just doesn't matter. Age is a non-factor.
What are some of the biggest things that couples need